I was the highest paid yacht stewardess for one of the richest billionaires for 9 years. These are the weirdest things they made us do. We had to wear short skirts, so they made us eat pineapple to keep things fresh down there.
You will never be rich until you realize wealthy people never have jobs. When have you seen a wealthy person have a job, truly? When have you seen a street interview where a wealthy person has had a job and not a business or assets?
Have you ever noticed how wealthy people behave? They all have the same behavior, all of them. If you're around really, really wealthy people, especially generational wealth, they all do the same thing.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and today we're going to be talking about rich people, the lifestyle few understand. Rich people often live lives that seems far removed from everyday struggles. Their wealth can provide comfort, freedom, and opportunities most cannot imagine. At the same time, their choices and spending habits spark curiosity and criticism. Conversation about rich people often highlight their gap between luxury and reality. Without further ado, guys, let's dive into the videos and watch.
Have you ever noticed how wealthy people behave? They all have the same behavior, all of them. If you're around really, really wealthy people, especially generational wealth, they all do the same thing. They prioritize their health. They don't eat junk food. They eat very good food. If they think that health is very, very important. Every behavior they have, requires money. Great posture. You ever notice that? They have great posture. They sit right. They focus. Ever notice a real wealthy person goes into a room, always is super confident. Never loud, super confident. Ever notice how generous they are? Not generous with money. If a wealthy person walks into a room and sees someone on the corner and they don't know anyone, they're a little out of place, they hold them by the hand and show them around. That's wealthy behavior. They don't like things that are loud. Real wealth, not the ones that are on social media I'm talking about, wears nothing that says Prada, Chanel, or anything like that. They just know how to dress. They understand fabric. These are the behaviors of ultra wealthy people. They invest in their children. Wealthy people go out and say, well, guess what? I don't need my child to be just becoming 21 and nothing. No, piano lessons, ballet lessons, language lessons, they all teach them that. They invest in their children.
Yeah, interesting thought for them gentlemen, guys. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below, guys. And please like, share, subscribe. It's really important for me. I try to grow this channel. And I do appreciate this, guys. And if you want to support the channel another way, I have referral links down below that you can check. Okay, guys, thank you in advance. And let's dive in the next video and watch.
You will never be rich until you realize wealthy people never have jobs. When have you seen a wealthy person have a job, truly? When have you seen a street interview where a wealthy person has had a job and not a business or assets? This is a financial lesson you need to remember. Wealthy people have businesses and assets. Assets, investments, real estate, digital assets, now like courses and ebooks. Yep. Such as investments as in investing in franchises or just literally crypto or stock market, okay? Businesses, online businesses, brick and mortar businesses. My favorite is online businesses because literally this right here, what I'm doing right now, created $2 million for me in 17 months. Talking to my fucking phone. Talking to my phone and also creating a sellable, scalable digital product based off of my magic. Not only was I not making anyone money except for me, because even when you're a doctor, right? Let's talk about you go to college. Even when you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're still making someone way up there, much bigger, that you can't see money. It's not your business. It's not your practice until it is. Yeah. You're always making people richer until you make your own business. You will always be making someone else richer and someone else's life easier. You'll be working for someone else's freedom until you make your own. All right? The only difference between you and a millionaire? Education. It's not college education. It's not high school education. It is money education. Financial literacy. All right? Business acumen. Business model knowledge. Okay? Tax knowledge. Yeah, babe. That shit gets real when you start making money. Fucking let me tell you. Okay. If you want to stick on this side of TikTok, please follow me and comment if you like this video. Because I literally woke out of fucking bed at 3 a.m. when I realized, I can't believe how many people are still being lied to and still working their lives away. And I've been taking for granted my freedom. But I do whatever I want every fucking day. And also my investments just made me $30,000 this week. Just from money that I made, that I got to put away to make me more money. That's financial literacy, by the way. You can't do shit with investing until you have money, though. So don't try and get fucking all up in there until you make some money, all right? Digital products, personal branding, and learning how to utilize AI to 10 times all of it, all right? We're launching a product soon, but, you know, even if you never see this video again, please know, AI is the future. If you're not on top of it, either figuring out how to utilize it to grow a business right now, or get you better and more of an asset in your own job, you're falling behind. 2, personal brand, Forbes literally said, is the biggest, like a strong personal brand will not be replaced by AI. This is a personal brand, build this. And financial freedom is this. It's your phone now. All right, sales, it's marketing. It's not a job. Toodles.
Yeah, definitely very good thoughts from this lady, you know. So we need to create our own brand line, some digital product, you know. This is why I decided to add her thoughts to our show, you know, try to give you thoughts from different people. Just, you know, just so you can make your own research, guys. I hope you do appreciate this, guys. And let's dive to the next video and watch.
So why do rich people have more PFAS, the toxic forever chemical, in their body versus poor people? I'm Beatrice, I'm the anti-plastic lady, so I'm going to tell you the reasons why, as well as why you should care about this regardless of how much money you have. So quick background, PFAS are known as the toxic forever chemical. There's over 10,000 different kinds. They're everywhere. They're in our water. They're in tons of our consumer products. And what's bad about PFAS is they build up with every tiny little bit that you ingest. And so the only safe level truly is 0. They're linked to lots of different types of cancer, brain cancer, kidney cancer, testicular cancer, all the cancers. So people started learning about PFAS about 10 years ago when there were these huge contamination sites. And most of those big PFAS contamination sites were in places of lower income, right? West Virginia, some rural parts of North Carolina. However, when researchers started looking at PFAS levels in people across the country, they started noticing a really weird pattern. They found that people of higher income tended to have higher amounts of PFAS in their body. And what's even weirder is that they found this pattern in Europe as well. It wasn't just the United States. And this is truly the opposite of every other case of toxic chemical contamination in the environment and our products. People in poor areas, they are usually more exposed to environmental pollutants, making them way more vulnerable to lots of health problems. However, now study after study after study shows that people of higher income have higher levels of PFAS in their body. Here's why you should care about this regardless of how much money you make. It's all about the products you buy. That's what it is, truly. So rich people were buying and ingesting and surrounding themselves with more products with PFAS than people of lower income, right? What's kind of cool about this is that regardless of where you live and regardless of how contaminated your water or whatever is, you actually have a lot of control over the amount of this toxic cancer-causing chemical in your body, right? So just with a little bit of knowledge, you can change your behavior and then avoid all of the very expensive medical bills that are in your future from PFAS pollution. Let's talk about some of the biggest PFAS contamination sources, okay? Number 1, seafood. All right. Rich people eat more seafood. Have you seen how much one of those 3-level seafood towers costs in New York or Las Vegas? It's a couple $100. Okay. And seafood is extremely contaminated with PFAS. Local and river fish is actually 280 times more contaminated with PFAS than ocean fish, but ocean fish is really, really bad. And that is because every drop of PFAS that has ever been produced has just been dumped and it has been left there. Right? So number 2, athletic clothes and like outdoor products. I used to live in Silicon Valley and there was a uniform there. It was all of like the little half zips from Patagonia, REI, North Face. It was looking like you were going hiking every day, even though you weren't. You were just in an office or working remote even. It turns out that so much of that outdoor like athletic gear, all of those were designed to be weather resistant and stain resistant, but they used PFAS to achieve all of those extra benefits, right? PFAS make things non-stick. It was also outdoor and athletic gear, right? So ski wax is a massive contamination source. Number 3, stain resistant textiles and furniture in your home. People of higher income tend to have lots of carpets, deck sealants, and tons of stain-resistant furniture, all of which is coated in PFAS. All of the PFAS from all that new furniture and home furnishings will leach off and get into the dust. And this leads me to number 4, which is household size. People of higher incomes tend to live with less people. So that means there's less people ingesting all of that PFAS dust. The good news about all of this is that so many states have banned PFAS from lots of our consumer products. So everyone's exposure level is now much lower, regardless of your income level.
Yeah, interesting thoughts, so the more richer you are, you use more PFAS, in your daily life, and it's bad for your health, I decided that it's also a very good topic to share, Okay, guys, let me know what you think about that in the comments below, and let's dive to the next video and watch.
This is a day in the life of a multimillionaire visiting Paris. First things first, we got to pack. You can see my assistant Julia there, happy that I'm leaving to Paris. My housekeeper packing all my bags. I overpack way too much. And poor Max has no idea I'm about to leave the country. I travel Air France, and here are all the goodies you get in the bags when traveling first class. And one sleeping pill later, and I'm in Paris. It's still early though, so I head to the streets. Here's the Chanel store. It looks really great, decorated like this. Here's the Louis Vuitton store. They had the whole building designed like a Louis Vuitton box. Very cool. This is sort of the main shopping street. At the end of that street is the Arc de Triomphe. It is very beautiful. You can see they're flying the French flag. You'll see this a lot in movies. Then I head over to the Sky Bar that has a great view of the Eiffel Tower for a quick drink. And this is what happens when you let me drink and leave a piano in your lobby. The next day I'm back on the streets of Paris. This is not an audio. It really does sound like this. So I like art history and old churches, so anytime I go anywhere, I always make it a point to go to some new place I haven't been before. You just never know. Sometimes you're surprised with what you might find. So here's something you may not have seen before. This is the underside of the Eiffel Tower. It's very big, very intimidating. I made it all the way to the top. It's very cold up there. Interesting fact, at the top of the tower, there are these rooms with these full-size wax figurines depicting different scenes. Google it, check it out, it's very interesting. But look at this crazy view. I zoom in, the camera does a great job here. You can see all those little black dots moving around are people. It's a crazy view. I was fortunate to be in Paris on the day they reopened Notre Dame since the fires. Here's me having lunch across the street right before the opening ceremony. The restorations were great. And of course, I'm gonna visit the Louvre. Here's a view you may not have seen before, looking up and out of the pyramid. When I tell you this place was beautiful, didn't I mention I like art history? You may recognize this painting. There's Jesus. And I'm going to swivel the camera around. You can take a look at some of the artwork on the wall, the exhibits, and finally the Mona Lisa. It's a lot smaller in person than I thought. Here's a close-up. With the touristy stuff out the way, I head back to my hotel and change, and then head upstairs to L'Oiseau Blanc for a 2-star Michelin dinner. It has a great view of the Eiffel Tower at night. Here's an example of one of the courses. You have very limited choices when it comes to the menu, but I promise you, everything they bring you is going to be delicious. Afterwards, I have some time to kill, so I pop into one of my favorite lounges, the Bar Kleber. The history of this place is incredible, and it has great service, which is like my only requirement. The cocktails are great and the macaroons are exquisite. You gotta try this place. For entertainment this evening, I head over to the Moulin Rouge for a burlesque show. You're not supposed to have phones in there, but here's a sneak peek. Paris is one of my favorite cities, and of course I'll be back there this year for Fashion Week. Oh, P.S. Disneyland in Paris has something that no other Disneyland has. If you go to Disneyland, go here to the left side of the castle. There you'll find this tucked away entrance that goes through this cave underneath Cinderella's castle. Here you'll find a sleeping dragon that'll wake up, speak French at you, and roar.
Yeah, interesting video about this guy, I hope he gonna be okay and he gonna visit Paris a lot. Yeah, let me know if you've also been in Paris or France. Let me know in the comments below. I will be very happy to read all about this. you know, guys, and let me know your thought about that too. Okay, guys, let's dive to the next video and watch. Yeah, interesting, very beautiful cars, you know, guys. So, I mean, I'm even curious, is this all cars is for rent or it's their own? You know, let me know in the comments below what do you think about that. And let's dive to the next video and watch.
How do I know that somebody is rich or wealthy?
Rich people try. They try really hard, and you can tell because of the way that they're blinged out sometimes, right? You can tell by how much they're showing off. I think a wealthy person is very comfortable in their own skin. They've got an aura, they've got a presence about them, so it's not necessarily about the things that they're buying, but it's like how they're showing up and what they're wearing. You can sense it. It's an authenticity, right? And it's not necessarily in the name brand, so the wealthy people that I've met actually don't wear flashy brands all over them. If you look at fashion design and fashion history, big name brands that we see today created like the t-shirts for the mid-market rich people or for people who wanted to look rich. Wealthy people actually don't wear a lot of labels. They're wearing the labels, but the label is actually in the back of the shirt. It's in the material. It's the linen. It's the leather. That's really how like a wealthy individual dresses. And you can just tell when somebody walks up like that, just the subtle differences in the watch and again, it's an aura, the way that they're presenting themselves really at the end of the day and the way that they talk, because they have a level of wisdom and intellect that maybe someone who's trying to become rich doesn't have yet. There's nothing wrong with trying to become rich. We've all been at that stage. I've been at that stage where I'm like, I'm going to play the part of being rich. And sometimes when you're playing the part of being rich, there's a level of like want and desperation. I think people can sense that. And so you have to just give it time. Wealth is something that does take time, and that's the key. Someone can become rich and very quickly. We actually see that happen online. Like make fast money, lose fast money just as quick. Make money that takes you a long time, you're more likely to keep it. Why? Because that amount of money took time to grow because it took you time to figure out how to get there.
Definitely interesting thought from this lady, you know. Yeah, definitely. What do you think about that, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Is she right or not? Okay, let's dive in the next video and watch.
How are young people both incredibly left-leaning but also craving aristocracy? Because tell me why I just saw a series called Rich People Who Rich Right, and it's just overt displays of wealth. It's people whose whole shtick is just being rich. What used to merit a rich person riching right was whether or not they donated a library or a park. But now it's just like this broad having a 20 motif necklace. Like, she's so iconic. Is she? And beyond just the obsession with Van Cleef and just people eating caviar for some reason and just like putting it on everything, which is gross. I know you're just pretending to like it. But also the sheer amount of worship pointed at nepotism kids. I don't think we should hate nepo babies for existing. It's not like they had a choice, but there's a difference between being neutral and glorifying them. And I promise the amount of Lily Rose Depp fan edits I see on here are not because of her acting skills. I wonder if this very obnoxious embracing of the wealthy, the kind of wealthy that we can't even begin to fathom, especially in the context of us only really appraising them as spectacles to be consumed. I wonder if that's an abstract way of young people coping. Maybe we can only begin to grasp this level of wealth, the fact that these people exist only by compartmentalizing them into the category of being a show, consumable. That's the case. Like, why are we standing rich people? What's with that? Rich people who rich right? What? Just because they make videos eating caviar and pretending they're your friend doesn't mean they actually care about you. I don't know. I don't mean to hate. Sorry. I just think it's weird.
Yeah, interesting thoughts, you know. I'm trying to add the different thoughts from different people to this show, you know. So you can make your research and, you know, and it will be useful for you. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Okay, guys, let's dive to the next video and watch.
I want to show you my car.
Okay. Should we go see?
So I made this like a year ago,
Okay.
but I did the whole thing pink.
Oh my god.
Stormy's mom.
So cute.
I know.
It's like,
Because I'm not like a pink car girl, but I always wanted to live out my fantasy.
but this is so cool.
But like Rolls Royce, they only do one color pink and it's like all factory.
So they only do this color thing.
Yeah,
And it's very Pepto.
it is. But in the
In
sun,
the best
like,
way. I love it.
Yeah, pretty nice pink car, you know, pretty nice one for sure. Do you like it or not, guys? Let me know in the comments below, and let's dive to the next video and watch.
Is anybody else on rich people who rich right TikTok? These people are spending like thousands of dollars on a single dinner.
You guys got so mad when I spent $800 on soup for lunch, so come spend $5,000 on dinner with me. We didn't actually end up hitting the minimum spend for the private room, so we just ended up topping it up at the end.
Wearing $400,000 custom Van Cleef necklaces.
If you're new here, I'm getting married in the Folie de Pré necklace from Van Cleef. I had them custom order the all diamond version.
Or spending $50,000 on nights out.
What I spent in September living in New York City with no budget, having fun and like going out clubbing and stuff was $48,429.53.
I live somewhere where there's lots of rich people just like that. I'm also homeless and I'm trying to raise money to live in a trailer. So if you watch this video and you can engage with it, that would be amazing because girl. Also link in my bio if you can donate. Anyway, I can't share too many details because I don't want to like get found out, if you know what I mean. But I used to babysit for this family and there was 2 identical twins and like the scary level of identical twins, like the ones from The Shining. When I would go to their house every day, and by house I mean compound, there was one of 2 Range Rovers out front every day. It was one and then the other and then one and then the other, always in the same exact spot. So finally I asked one of the Mannies about it. Girl, do you really want to know? Well, yes, now I do. Their parents bought each of them a Range Rover cash. And they switch them out every day, so they use one or the other every day equally. And they're building their credit early. These kids were 3. The lot their family has, every time somebody turns 18, home, built, 2,500 square feet easily. Again, I'm trying to live in a trailer. I've seen other people get $250,000 cars for their 16th birthday, total their car the following weekend, and then get a brand new $250,000 car the next day. I'm trying to live in a trailer.
Yeah, interesting stuff for the gentleman. You know, I hope he gonna be okay and everything gonna be alright with him. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode, and you know, thank for your like, share, subscriptions. It's really important for me. Like always, guys, be safe. See you in the next episode, and bye for now.